Hello everyone, welcome to Redbus TS channel. In this video, we'll look at the recent action by Biden administration where they revoked Buy American and Hire American executive order that was actually passed by President Trump in the past. So it had a huge impact on H1B and L1B programs in the last few years. So we'll look at what was the impact and what can change since it's revoked now. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to our channel for getting regular updates. So this is the news. This was actually revoked on January the 25th, which is last week. So we'll look at all the details that are part of it. So this is what we'll cover. We'll look at the background of it. We'll look at the impact that it had on US economy in the past, and we'll look at how it was revoked and what could be the changes that we can expect. So for you to get a background of this is a significant executive order that was signed by President Trump, Buy American, Hire American. It was signed in April of 2017, and since then, there have been a lot of changes that were focused on protecting US workers and creating higher wages, more employment opportunities. So all of these may or may not, they did not really result in a lot of the changes that they wanted to, but they were pretty much focused on, having American workers first. That was the primary goal of it. So what they did was that, as part of that, something that all of you can recall in the recent immigration changes, like H1B perm wage level changes, where they increased the wage levels by, 25 to 40%, depending on, when they launched and what is current now. And also the lottery to be based on wage levels rules, or the many of the cancelled H1B rules by courts regarding strengthened H1B programs such as 1 year H1B approvals, more compliance, and all sorts of things, right? So they were all vacated by court. So besides these, something that you can remember, these are the list of things that were done in the last 4 years. They created a lot of reporting requirements to combat fraud. So they had separate partnerships with Department of Justice to combat fraud. They had expanded the site visits extensively for H1B and L1B programs. They increased the transparency of the H1B program. They provided data of approvals, denials, and H1B data hub. They also had complete data on L1 programs, how they're used. They quarterly published reports of how the approvals, denials, and all sorts of data they can think of. So they changed the qualifying relationship for proxy vote. This is typically used in ownership control for relocating or sending L1 holders from one entity to within the organization. So they also increased the extension of scrutiny for extension worker petitions like H1B. Also, they changed some of the ACIWA fee guidance for affiliate and subsidy definition. So these are some of the notable ones that you can think of, that were done in the last 4 years. So all of these overall had a huge impact, and as a result, if you can see some of the numbers here, right? So these are the denial rates, for fiscal year 2017 that ended, so fiscal year starts from October 1st and ends in September 30th. So for fiscal year 2017, if you can see, before this was signed, they were all in single digits, 3.4%, 6%, 5%, 3.5%. So this is especially for big MNCs and outsourcing companies. And since these rules were enacted, you see all of them jump to double digits, and some of them even like 31%, right? So which is pretty high. And the rules did not really change. The regulation, Congress, the guidance did not change. It's just the interpretation of the rules that got changed, and all these executive actions resulted in double-digit rejection rates. So this data is based on the data that is published by DHS and USCIS and curated by H1B Grader. So they have all these data that has been collated nicely. They give a profile of how a H1B company profile looks like. So we'll put a link in the description for you to look at the details. Now, other impacts that, based on, while many of these policies were primarily aimed at reducing fraud by IT body shops, but they also made it very, very difficult for typical US companies to hire foreign skilled workers, right? So based on research done by Wharton School of Business and Professor Britta Glennon, so she actually put up a very big paper. I think it's about 35-40 pages. And she says that, many of these jobs and, all the innovation, investments, economic growth went outside of US because of these policies that are put put forth by the Trump administration. In fact, just in the recent times, just the Trump travel ban on H-1B L-1 visa had an impact on the valuations of US firms over $100 billion. So this is also reported by Howard and Wharton professors. Yeah. So this is, while there are many decent or good things that came out of these policies, but there is a lot of significant impact that it had on the overall US economy. Now, coming to the present situation, so this is the last week that was signed by President Trump on January 25th. President Biden. On January 25th, Biden revoked this executive order, and it was not really like, immigrant communities did not report this, but the new executive order that was signed, revoked this, as you can see on the screenshot, revocation of certain presidential and regulatory actions, Executive Order 13788, which is Buy American and Hire American, so that was from April 18, 2017. So this was the one that was revoked, and now the new executive order that was signed, instead of that is more just Buy American, and what that asks is only mandating US governments to buy from US producers and focuses on primarily on procurement of goods and everything. And one of the key things that they added up is they set up an office under Office of Management and Budget to carry out this Buy American. So the key thing to note is there is no Hire American concept. There is no mention of any policies or guidance related to like focusing on US workers or anything as such. So that is a big change that you can see in this new executive order that signed and that revoked the previous executive orders. Now, in terms of impact, right, there are no specifics listed out as of today by these agencies, like DHS, Department of Justice, ICE, Department of Labor. So all of these agencies do not have detailed items listed out. So if you go to USA's website, you still can see, Buy American, Hire American, the page and everything still there. So we will only see these changes by these agencies, how they will interpret this, and how once they have the new secretary, right, they will change all of these things. But as of now, there is no official information. But what we can expect, since this is revoked, we can expect some of these changes that we'll look at briefly. So in the past, there was no deference. Deference is basically priority, or you can think of weightage given for prior H-1B approvals. So whenever someone files an extension, they would look at it as a fresh H-1B extension, fresh H-1B application. Now, in the past, there was deference given for previous approval. So now this may come back into the picture. So because of this coming into the picture, it will be much easier, or there will be less, scrutiny on extensions. So based on this, there will be faster processing times that we can expect. So we may expect removal of wage level changes for H-1B and PERM programs. So we may also expect the lottery changes for H-1B wage level criteria. So we can also expect faster approvals, because a lot of these, burden that's been added with all these previous executive order is now, going to be taken off. And you can expect better H-1B L1 approval rates for most of the companies, including the large MNCs. So we can also expect better H-1B stamping approval rates, right? Because they all had all these clauses in place where they were actually giving a lot of 221Gs and creating a hassle for all the H-1B L1 holders. So we may also see a reduction in how they publish data, but we don't know if they will continue to do this. But this is something we may expect. And also they may change the L1 policies for qualifying relationships on a proxy. So we may see reduced, enforcements. There'll be more focus on, on the good parts rather than just on, random enforcements, or, and we may see reduced site visits. So these are some of the policies that we can expect to change. But again, some of these things may or may not happen, but this is just what we're expecting based on, because all of these were created as part of the original Trump Buy American and Hire American. So let us know what you think in comments, and thank you for watching. Do subscribe for getting regular updates.